Having just graduated university, George was ready to take his next big step into the real world. But despite his best efforts, he could not find a decent job. George was often referred to as a pass, or just not quite the right fit. The front bumper of his car sported a small dent as a result of the repetitive kicking by George whenever he wasn't hired. This time, being the 11th and final company on his list, was the 13th set of kicks, as his girlfriend of 7 months broke up with him just a few weeks back, and last Monday, the fast food restaurant wouldn't take card. At home were roommates of George's: Ranch, named by the silver-toothed bully from the 7th grade, and Paul, named by his mother and father. Both George and Paul had no clue as to what Ranch's real name was. They simply never bothered to ask. Also living with them at the time was Eleanor, a runaway of 19 years old. Eleanor often kept to herself.
Most impulsive guy I know.
At the time, Paul and Ranch were on an intense fitness regime, waking up at 7:30 sharp every morning, going on runs, and doing other Zumba-like activities. Paul was an exciting young man. By the age of 12, he ran his first very own small business, and by the time he was 14, they had expanded overseas. Nowadays, Paul flaunted a few different streams of both passive and non-passive income, one of which being his part-time job as a server, where he would serve court orders and lawsuits to people in exchange for some cold hard cash.
You've been served.
Paul's most recent plan involved the likes of both George and Ranch, as it was a bit more of a complicated procedure, and one that they could all benefit from.
This is something we're all gonna really benefit from.
George, having nothing better to do, and Ranch, not necessarily having a say in the matter, went along with Paul to acquire what he described as the product.
Abraham, Paul, boys. Been a while. It has. I missed you, man. I missed you. Me too, buddy. Me too. Oh, I'm sorry. How rude of me. Abraham, George, and Ranch.
Nice to meet you, boys.
So what do you say you let me come over and take a peek?
It's beautiful. You want to sample some?
Weed makes me anxious. I'm good.
Obviously curious about what the next step would be, George asked for an explanation once they got home. The plan was fairly simple, as Paul put it. Once the product was bought at a discounted bulk price relatively within the lines of the law, it would then be sold illegally to young humans under the age of 21 at a slightly higher price.
And within about a week or two,
Business was fucking booming. We had hundreds of kids calling us up for some of our good stuff. My phone was getting so many goddamn calls, we had to hire Eleanor to be our personal receptionist. And yes, we may have had to give her double our pay, but the point is we had a system. And absolutely fucking nobody was gonna stop us.
Who are you talking to?
It was all incredibly convenient. A little too convenient. Completely under the noses of Paul and the gang, two self-made, self-employed, and self-proclaimed assassins followed their stench. Best friends since the 4th grade, Justin and Jerry had a keen sense of what was what with each other. And although sentences weren't spoken all that often between the two, you could place a large wager on the fact that if they were, they'd be finishing each other's. In the hit business for just over a few years, they finally had their first real target. The employer, however, was the far more formidable foe. She simply preferred to avoid the mess if at all possible. The group was known by Paul as Das Juggers.
Now, I don't want any trouble, not unless he causes it. The second he does, though, I want you up his fucking ass.
Infamous for the manufacturing and selling of premium quality fake IDs, Das Juggers were not to be meddled with.
Go ahead, take a look. Scans, works under a black light, get you into bars. You won't have to buy that overpriced bullshit from that cunt muffin Paul and his friends anymore. You can go straight to the dispo yourself.
Pretty soon, Paul and the gang's entire enterprise would fall to the ground. If people had working fakes, it meant they had access to cheaper weed.
Why can't we seem to do one motherfucking thing right? This lady is always up in my fucking business. God, fucking... God! Suck a fucking dick or something.
Have you tried talking to them?
What do you want me to say?
I don't know. Try and buy a fake or something. All we need to do is to get them to incriminate themselves somehow, okay? Simple, simple stuff. And you know what? I think you are going to do just great. Just gotta believe in yourself. Right? Show them what you're made of.
Hi.
Hello. Do you want to sign?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Have a nice day.
I was actually wondering if I could get a...
What do you think, Shelly? This one looks kind of old to me.
Yeah, old for sure.
How old are you?
20.
20? Can't wait a couple months?
I just turned 20.
You know, I've seen you before.
What?
Yeah, you were messing around with those other dorks. selling stuff you weren't supposed to be selling, to kids you weren't supposed to be selling to. Which is fine and all. I can respect another one's hustle. But what I can't respect is another one coming from my own. Paul sent you, didn't he? Something you'd know about me if you did your research is I don't like Paul. He's a prick. He's greedy and he's slimy and he's a prick. So if he wants to talk business, that's fine. But first, I want you to give him this, and I want you to tell him
To shove it? She happen to say where?
Nope.
I'll shove it up hers when I see her. God damn it, that's some good coloring. Is that a fucking watermark?
Paul.
Francine?
So what can we do for you?
Oh, so much.
Well, make it quick, Paul. We haven't got all night.
Let up. Let it all up or else.
You don't fool me, Paul. You never have. You always make it look like you know what you're doing. Like you have a plan, but you don't. You rarely ever do.
I mean it, Francine. You don't know what this is to me, okay?
I don't think you know what this is to you. What are you doing with your life, Paul? Do you think any of us buy this mask you put on? You're lost. More than any of us, and that's saying something.
You don't know what it's like out there, okay?
Do you? You only just graduated. So, where does this end, Paul? You really want to take your whole crew down with you? 'Cause that's where you're headed. And I don't think they share those same aspirations. What do you say, boys? Why don't you tell Paul how you really feel?
Don't you ever question the loyalty of my crew again.
I wasn't questioning it. I was just pointing it out.
You dirty fucking liberal.
We're done here.
This feels illegal.
Oh, say, can you see
Georgie?
by the dawn's early light?
This is the most legal thing we've done all week.
Proudly.
Alright. You know what? We'll talk specifics of the hit later. In the meantime, I'm gonna go take a nice, warm, well-deserved bath. Don't fuck around with the gun.
Too long. Let people do whatever they want to me. I will make your life fucking miserable. And it'll be the easiest thing I've ever done. You can count on that.
You're lost. More than any of us, and that's saying something.
The best you can possibly be
when's it gonna
isn't
end?
half of what I
You take
am.
your whole crew
And
down
there's
with
nothing you can do. I love
Because
you.
that's where you're headed, and I don't think they share the same aspirations. What do you say, boys? tell Paul how you really feel.
What the fuck did you do? Y'all have me busting my fucking nuts watching out for you fucks, you know that? I can't seem to leave you cucks alone for more than 5 goddamn minutes, and when I do, this happens. Do you understand how that might drive someone a little fucking crazy? Yeah, I can see that. Let's see, show me. Fucking show me. Don't just fucking stand there. How about get this idiot to the fucking hospital?
Don't you fucking move. Get out of the fucking car. Grab your friend and get the fuck back inside. Where's the other one?
Who are you guys?
We're the fucking police. Where's the other one? Hey. Don't even think about it. Hey!
What the fuck?